Hello, hello, gorgeous soul. Welcome to the Soul Service Astrology Update for the 22nd of February 2021. If we have not met, I'm Kel Gunter. I'm a 13-sign sidereal astrologer. I'm also a scientist. So what does that mean? Sidereal astrology talks to you in relation to where the planets are observed right now in our modern technological age. It takes account that we are in a cyclical solar system. Gee, I hope I said that right. Basically, that means the Earth and the planets revolve around the sun, and the Earth also rotates on its axis. And it's that rotation on its axis that creates a phenomenon, I have trouble saying that word, that wobbles on its axis. And so, therefore, our perception on Earth at the moment, if we perceive it from where we are on the planet, you can relate it to the stars. Typically, Western astrology, the majority of it, has a more geocentric philosophy where the Earth is static and the stars and the planets revolve around it. And so, therefore, you can't correlate where the planets are now in relation to your perception. So that's 13 sign. Oh, and there's a 13th sign on the ecliptic. The ecliptic is where the planets revolve around the sun. That 13th sign is called Ophiuchus, and it sits in line with Scorpio, but it's kind of in between Scorpio and Sagittarius. All right, without further ado, what's happening this week? The Capricorn stellium is losing its strength, and Mercury is direct. I certainly felt it yesterday. I felt like I've been put through my paces and making sure that what it is I want to build this lifetime, and it was quite big. You know, it is I want to build over the next 12 years, what it is I want to build over the next 29 to 30, because in 12 years' time, Jupiter will be back in a similar location. And in about 29 years' time, Saturn will be back in a similar location. Not necessarily with the stellium that's occurred. So it's almost like and with Mercury retrograde, we had to rethink things, renew things, check things. I didn't listen to some of my own advice. And so that was my learning. And it was about decluttering, clearing out what's not important to me and what's not important to you. Now with this shift more towards Aquarian energy, you should feel like a light breeze coming in. You can shift some of that earth energy. So let's talk specifics. First of all, today, Mars moves into Taurus. Mars has been in Aries. Mars is warrior energy. Mars is action, focus, and doing. And in Aries, it is dignified. So therefore, it's warrior energy, doing, focus, and getting stuff done. With Mercury retrograde, that's actually been quite hard because the mind's kind of been on a holiday. But our desire to get stuff done has been there, and which is probably why I didn't listen so much to the Mercury retrograde, and therefore I was taught a lesson. And lessons, teaching of lessons is typically Saturn, and Saturn in Capricorn is showing us where we need to show up and learn, where things may take time to develop instead of thinking that we're going to be instantly gratified, because in our modern technological age, we can typically be instantly gratified when we go and buy something. So now is a time to perhaps take a back step and be a bit more of a tortoise. We've learned our lesson, right? We've got the shifting energy into Aquarius. But now we have Taurus, Mars in Taurus. So it can be this consistent, with continuity energy that can come in, looking after the self, looking after the body, making sure that we're aligned with the values, what it is that we're doing. With this review period with Mercury and with all the Capricorn energy really clarifying our goals for the next 12 months, but also clarifying our goals for the next 12 years or 29 years, and really clarifying down what our one thing is. Now, I'm not saying it's just one thing, because there's multiple things that add up to that one thing. But perhaps there was a bit of purging and decluttering going on, and you're going, oh, that's right. That's what I'm here to do this lifetime. I'm going to start doing it. And you can start taking some consistent with continuity action towards getting it done, and you're focused now, and the mind is clearer after this Mercury retrograde. So that's Mars in Taurus. Then we have Pluto trine Mars. So if we do listen to what we've learnt from the Mercury retrograde, we take our goals in hand and we start to take action in relation to them, the transformations will be easy. Pluto will support us. That life force energy will support us. Okay, so that is what's happening. That's trine energy. Then we have Venus in Aquarius. Yay! So Venus is typically associated with the element of air, and Aquarius is air. And Venus has been in Capricorn, so it's a bit like, right, there's these things I need to do to look after myself, and I need to take these steps and be quite systematic and make sure that, you know, I've got my core strengths there and I'm doing these actions. When it moves into Aquarius, it's a bit more free. It's a bit more free. It's a bit more spontaneous. And look, to be honest, I think Venus quite likes being spontaneous. So bring in a bit of spontaneity, whatever that is in how you relate and connect to people. Perhaps that's in your sexual life. Perhaps that's in your art. Perhaps that's in what you create. But allow spontaneity to sort of come in with this beautiful breath of fresh air. Because then that can feed into what it is you're creating, of course. So allow that in. Then we end the week with a Leo full moon. Yay! And it's trine Aquarius. So, it's trine Uranus in Aries. I said Aquarius because, of course, Uranus is linked to Aquarius. Full moon, Leo. It's not I'm going to release kind of by myself in my bathtub. This kind of release is what I would call a celebratory release. I want you to celebrate what it is that you've created so far, what it is you've accomplished, to really celebrate and party about some elements of your vision that have come to life, and that you are now ready to really express and shine out into the world, because that's what our sun is. It's our soul speaking and expressing, and it's creative. So this full moon is a release with celebration. So I'm wondering if you can vibe into that. Now, with Uranus trine, of course, Uranus quite likes a bit of, what did I say? Spontaneity. It's the rebellious planet in the solar system. It likes to download information from infinite consciousness and feed that into us. So with the full moon, the sun is highlighting the moon. So the sun is saying, shine your inner light and shine your outer light, and release that out. Celebrate what it is you've accomplished. Celebrate who you are. And that light that sort of emanates from you with the trine with Uranus, it really doesn't give a fuck what anyone else thinks. So by shining that light, by having been backed up by the radical Uranus, there ain't no such thing as tall poppy syndrome, basically. So I would just love to see everyone sharing on the internet, because Uranus is technology and the internet, what they've accomplished and what they just love about what it is that they've created and why they're celebrating that. And really what you would do on this full moon is sit with that feeling, that sense of accomplishment that you've achieved as part of your expression, as part of what it is that you want to create and shine out into the world. It could be your purpose and service. Look, they're interchangeable, those two words sometimes. So really, the energies this week are nowhere near as heavy as what they've been over the last 3 weeks. So celebrate that. Get out into the planet. Walk bare feet on the earth. Open your heart to the sun. Let the wind blow through your air, and bathe in some water if you can. And on that note, have a glorious, glorious week.